I did do my PhD in biotechnology. I studied basically how to use plant cells as biological factories to produce very complex proteins. So that's my research background. And I shifted a bit from there towards thinking more of use of biotech and cell cultures in food contexts. So the ideas of using plant cell cultures as something we could use to produce food in the future. But I made a slight jump then to research and innovation strategy, figuring out how to move research and innovation out of research context and into business world and into well so-called reality better. And from there, I jumped into VC world. So now I'm a scientist working on the other side in Nordic FoodTech Venture Capital, a VC fund backing specifically food tech companies here in the Nordics and Baltics. For me, the fascination of biotech in general has always been the idea of not only studying how life works on cellular level, but how to use it as a tool, use it as a technology to produce something or make something happen. And when it comes to the cellular level, we can actually do surprisingly many things that you can do also in the larger level using, for example, animals, but much more efficiently. So it is the kind of a leap that we make from current food production, where we use plants and animals, into this whole new era of food production, where we have domesticated also the microbes to do great many things. So I would see that we are in this interesting point in human history where we are are stepping into a new era where food production gets much more interesting and much more nuanced, not only using plants and animals. And I'm really happy to be kind of observing that happening and hopefully also influencing that change in some way. So I see that one of the most powerful ways to change the world or create impact in 2020 is through new companies, especially companies that come out of research, um, because those companies are using the tools of the fast developing technologies, the fast developing research, doing something completely different. And we are living a time and age where we can fund these companies, and these new agile startups can actually make huge things happen. Um, but there is a gap. There is a gap between research and business world, research and startups. So I've been in the academic world, so I know what that is. So we need, especially here in the Nordics, new capital, but also new kinds of investors that are willing and capable of investing in those technologies and those teams of researchers that are making big things happen. And I think that is, to me personally at least, one of the well, the most important thing I could be doing at the moment for the food system of the future. Obviously, I'm still very new to the whole is investment world. I still think of myself more as a researcher or a scientist on this side. Um, but to our fund specifically, we want to back companies that have a strong technological core, that have invented something that others cannot do, um, but also are using it in such a way, or planning to use it in such a way, that will build a more sustainable food system that really does contribute to the goals of uh, reducing the emissions and making good for the planet or health of humans. So those are the kind of two very important things that we're considering in the very beginning. So food has always been about technology. Since 10,000 years ago, when we started farming, it has been all about technology. It has been just relatively slow development. since that, with a couple of jumps. And now we're seeing an increasing speed in that innovation and development. And we need to be changing the food system because the current model is not sustainable in the long run. So there will be a lot of change, and there is very powerful new technologies to make that change happen. And those things alone already make it a very interesting, area to invest in. And food is also the biggest business on the planet, so that should also motivate to invest in food and food technology. What I love the most about my job is that I get to taste many things, also strange things. So I have tried a chicken nugget grown out of chicken cells. It tastes exactly like, well, chicken. It's very not surprising. I've also tried egg albumin, so egg white, um, grown from microbial cell cultures, and obviously already when I was still working in the lab, all kinds of plant cell cultures, all kinds of different plants that you can grow as a cell culture, and some of them taste really funky, some of them less funky. The tobacco cells have this very slight taste of lemon in them for some reason.